Alright, so welcome to this French mirror cast between Niroxs and Marinelord. Marinelord, StarCraft 2 player, very high level StarCraft 2 player, also reached a very decent level at Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, playing the qualifiers for the big events, and yeah, he's not messing around there either. So obviously a seasoned RTS player. Here's playing the French, which is arguably one of the absolute strongest civilizations in Age of Empires 2 these days. And it's a mirror, because they get a free pick of civilizations, so Niroxs is also playing the French here. So here comes the first house, then going to gold for the very first landmark here. That's going to be the case for both players here. Let's see if they have a similar setup here. House, gold. Yeah, Marinelord is it's one of the absolute favorites to win the whole thing. He's very solid player. He's been playing the game a lot already and established himself at top of the rankings. But they're both in the French here, so no significant advantage. You can see the income per minute Niroxs a tiny bit earlier to gold. They probably both have 3 villagers on gold though, which seems to be the standard, because you need gold for your landmark to go up to the next stage. So food, gold, and then later on you can focus on wood as needed. French, they save wood on their resource drop-off points as well. This is best of 3 because this is the round of 32. So we'll have two matches in this matchup between these two. Yeah, French, they save, they have half price on their resource drop-off points, so they only pay 25 wood as opposed to the generic 50. That's one reason already that the French are good, because they save that wood for other things like your first stable or whatever, or you could go to multiple resources early on, mill, hunt, if you want to go greedy. But that's pretty far away from starting base though. This could be a good mill spot for Marinelord actually. It's both the berries and the hunt here to be taken. It's very equal here in the progress. However, Marinelord, with the resources needed to go to the feudal age, he's going to drop the landmark with 2 of the food villagers, and off he goes with the School of Cavalry, which is also being constructed by his opponent here, Niroxs, and let's have a look at the disposition. 3 on wood for Niroxs, only 2 for Marinelord, and presumably an equal amount of villagers. Wait, Marinelord is building the landmark with 4 villagers, so he really wants to get ahead to the next stage here. Maybe it's scouted. Let's have a look at the scouting. I don't think he's scouted how many villagers are building the landmark, but that could be a giveaway as far as your progression goes. So Marinelord will be earlier to the feudal age because of this, because of investing more villagers into building the landmark. So they're both going for the School of Cavalry. There are both the French here. They're just passing each other here, snagging some sheep, both of them, and I actually like that Marinelord only has 2 on wood here, because you save 25 wood every time you're in need of a resource drop-off point, right? So you're not necessarily in need of 3 on wood early on. However, with 3 on wood, it's going to be easier to afford blacksmith and stable in one go once you reach the next stage. And considering the slower building School of Cavalry here for Niroxs, that might be intentional to be able to afford more earlier on. But there we go, feudal age is in for Marinelord, while our red friend here still has some time to go. Let's see Marinelord's resources. He is able to produce that first Royal Knight immediately here. And now moves on with the landmark builders to go on to berries. You could also research survival techniques and eco upgrades to boost the gather rate. And once you can afford it, professional scouts as well. Let's see, it's still 3 on gold for Marinelord, and the Royal Knights, they cost a lot of gold, 100 gold, so you'll need more gold eventually. But food seems to be the priority here to be able to produce both villagers and military. Always keep producing villagers. It's essential for your economy to get rolling in Age of Empires games. And Age of Empires 4 no exception, of course. So, first knight is out. And it's going to look for damage potential here. I think it'll go straight for the gold, honestly, to limit the production of Niroxs here. Both with knights out. No sign of a blacksmith for either player here, and the... Looks like Marinelord focuses villagers. Yeah, he kills villagers in like a couple of hits here. So that's one kill for Marinelord already. I'd argue that's value. One villager down for red here, who is already behind in the progression. And bringing in the reinforcements as well. That's going to be 2 versus 1. In the School of Cavalry. Look at red. Look at Niroxs is also hitting Marinelord at home here. So they're both trading blows here. Let's have a look at the military score. Marinelord the only one with the kill though. So Niroxs doesn't succeed in taking out a villager of Marinelord. Income per minute, lots of food for Marinelord, and not so much gold, but maybe enough to accomplish what is the idea here. Looks like a 1 TC play, did not mine any stone yet, while Niroxs has been mining stone and might be thinking about a second town center in not too long here. It is indeed going for 2 TCs, so it protects some of the economy. But as a result, it's going to affect your army production because you need food for villagers, you need food for military units. So if you go for a second town center, that will affect your army production potential. So I kind of favor Marinelord's position here now, given the extension of the gold income now to keep producing military out of the School of Cavalry, 1 knight at a time here. And also keeps the army movement going up on the opposing side here to look for places to hit again. He's got the scout mixed in as well. I guess that kind of improves the line of sight, or there has to be some reasoning behind this. Here comes the blacksmith. Also one that Marinelord hasn't been prioritizing, I think. Marinelord is all about army here, and as we know, army wins wars, so we're definitely gonna need army numbers to win battles throughout the game. Can't only play economy 2 TC is not necessarily a bad idea. It protects your economy going up. We see Marinelord protecting his economy as well with an outpost here on the hunt and the berries. There's going to be lots of French mirrors in this tournament, I think, because they get the free pick of civilization. If you lose with one civilization, you are allowed to reuse it, but if you win, you have to pick another civilization. So let's see here. Town center is up, some Royal Knights out. Let's see the military score. Marinelord with 3 kills. So I guess he sniped some more villagers, or maybe the enemy scout, and his knights numbers are increasing. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the total number of military here, which is pretty silly for the for a spectator overlay. But look at the army management of Marinelord here. It's baits this group of knights or Royal Knights into his reinforcements, and just like that, Marinelord has the army momentum here and has some military lead over the other French player. Let's have a look at the overall populations as well. I'd say Niroxs has 15, 26, 20 something villagers, 30 something. Marinelord should be lower, 20 to 30 villagers total, so of course only 1 town center for Marinelord for now. Might be moving on to build another one now because he has the 300 stone, and I think he's going to town center the hunt over here, which is a fantastic food source to make use of. It collects more quickly than, for example, berries or even farms, I think. Yeah, town center coming up here. He did shoot a deer first, I don't know why he did that, maybe to collect some food to drop off immediately. Nirox's eco management doesn't seem quite as good as Marinelord here. He's floating quite a bit of gold here. You'd think he might be going towards the next age, but I don't think that makes much sense here. What Red needs most of all here now is to get some more army out and about here. He's probably dropping he's dropping another stable actually. And I'm a bit surprised the stable goes up over here, but maybe he's afraid of it getting denied next to the Skull of Cavalry. But if you... But I think if you build your stables around the School of Cavalry, the stables will produce more quickly. It's an influence thing, which is a part of the game as well. So if this was Age of Empires 2, you could probably win the game going just knights, but seeing as the counter units actually work in Age of Empires 4 and spearmen are really good against knights as well, then Marinelord will eventually need to pull a second unit in here. I don't think he has started any production of archers yet, but eventually Marinelord will need a counter to enemy counter units as well. Knights raids here, splitting up the Knights, Royal Knights numbers. Let's have a look at the military again here. KD 8-1 here now from Marinelord. He is obstructing that boom of Niroxs, who is also currently housed, which is impairing production. Looks like Marinelord cleaned up the Knights forward as well, and Niroxs is now really outnumbered here. Yeah, we can see, I think the upgrades are in here, +2 on the Knights, while... Or maybe not. Let's see, does Marinelord have a blacksmith somewhere? No, it's dropping it now. So lacking upgrades on the Knights here. Our red player, however, has the blacksmith up, but doesn't... Yeah, he got this upgrade actually, but he's getting ranged armor upgrades, is he? Or is he getting... I can't tell the research here. See if there's any difference here. I think these pluses here mean the upgrades. So they are at equal upgrades currently. They both have the unique technology for the School of Cavalry as well. The one allowing the Royal Knights to heal when they are out of combat, so they auto-heal. You can see that even after losing some builders for Niroxs here, it's lost 15 units total, but the double TC boom is starting to kick in. Of course, it is the case for Marinelord as well, who has more builders by now, I think, after the raids and the second TC approach. Delaying that second town center for Marinelord certainly paid off here in the big picture. Again, hitting goal. I love that, even though there's still gold in the bank for red here. Getting it denied sets you back for the further production. Here. Is it 12 versus 12 here now? Very even in the armies here now between the two players. So red has definitely stabilized here, but the overall population still a bit behind here. Oh, there's a number of builders. 40 builders for red and 63 for Marinelord. So scratch that, Marinelord has actually established a huge lead after the raids, and now garrisoning the CC for some cover fire over here as well. Look at him, it's always got that one stray unit raiding the enemy base while focusing on the big battles. He's taking some losses as well, but Marinelord now has a fantastic economy backing his efforts up. He's reacting quickly here to garrison builders as well and getting some sneak damage in on these knights, and now he's going to pull his own Royal Knights over to maybe force a fight close to the defensive TC at the side of his base here. Oh, big run in here. Neither player has added in the Spearman as far as I can see, so it's all going to be about the Knights here. And I think Red has... Wait, what's that? That's the charge, maybe? I'm not sure what these stars mean, but I think if the charge attack has been used, it will show as only 2 stars on the attack. They don't want to take any unfavorable fights here, obviously, so if it's a fight where they're going to trade their armies down to 0 for both of them, they don't really want to take that. They want to preserve the numbers and get the upgrades as the ages progress. And Marinelord here, floating quite a bit of wood now. I'm not sure what the idea is. He probably now wants to mix in some spears to counter. Here's... that's a house, probably. Or just prepare for transitioning into farming economy as well. He's floating quite a bit of resources now. Getting dangerously close to that next age transition as well. Could use the market to tweak the resources a bit. Maybe he's already building it. I would show here if it was, but he's definitely ahead in economy by good margins over Niroxs here at this point. Doesn't seem to want to take the fight here. And, ooh. Marinelord actually has better upgrades on these knights, so now he can take the fight. He has that extra armor, melee armor, and he seems to have slightly better numbers as well. 15 to... how many? Yeah, definitely has more knights out here. While on the right side, the red has to chase one of these stray knights again away from the raiding. That sound means that we have the resources to go to the next stage. 1000 gold, 1200 food. And there's the landmark for Marinelord. Let's see what kind of landmark that's gonna be. Where is he building it? Why can't I see that? Oh, am I freaking blind? Oh, here it is. There's a guild hall. It generates resources out of thin air, basically. Another fantastic economic advancement. I'm not sure if Red realizes here that he's lacking the upgrades. He's lacking the numbers and the upgrades. That's a situation you never want to find yourself in. And I'm baffled by the fact that neither player has mixed in some spears in their combinations, you know. Obviously, the Royal Knights are a ridiculous unit. They're really strong in all regards. But Spearmen would counter them more efficiently than just relying on equal numbers here. Let's see the military stats again here. It's 36-14 KD, and Marinelord really dominating this one. And seeing the next stage kicking in there, that's the point of GD for Niroxs. So, hoping we might get to see some stats here. Or not. Yeah, I guess we have to greet match, and we'll find the second matchup between these two. I'll need to pull up the VR back screen because I don't have a good option to hide. The player profile actually shows the result, the outcome of the game, so I don't want to show that to the viewers, obviously. Let's see for the next game here. Where Marinelord has to switch up the civilizations. He is going to play the Rus for this one. So here we are with another game of Age of Empires 4 here. The second game in the best of 3 between Marinelord and Niroxs. Niroxs. And Marinelord, having won the first game, will have to switch civilization here. So he's now playing as the Rus. He's playing in the blue, and he has his scout out and about to start collecting, killing off any hunt he can find, because for the Rus, you'll generate gold passively through bounties. You also get gold for killing sheep. So when you harvest sheep and beneath the TC, that's also passively generating gold for you. Look at this. Once he shoots a deer, he's gonna get 10 gold, just like that. And he's... I think he's actually focus firing quickly here to take them and take him out. So micromanagement here to take him out as quickly as possible. The wolves are killed more slowly. Now, having killed his own deer over here, he's going to look for other sites to get resources. But Niroxs is here, knowing that he's up against the Rus. He should most definitely be looking for hunt to kill as well, because if he kills off the hunt before Marinelord can do so, and then Marinelord is going to have smaller benefits from the hunting. Scouting close to home base for now for Marinelord. Doesn't seem to be a lot of hunt on this map. You see these signs here, the patches of hunt around the map, so he's about to scout it, I guess. We'll stay on Marinelord's point of view here for a little moment to see the income. Look at the gold already. He has the gold needed to go to the next age without mining a single piece of gold here. Could focus everything on food if he wants to, but he's bringing in little of this and a little of that. I guess he did go to wood, yeah, and second scout is out. There are more scouts out for Marinelord here. He's built these hunting cabins that passively generate gold for the Rus, and you could also create scouts from them, so you don't need to take up your TC 1000 at a time generating scouts when you have the hunting cabin up. Let's see if Niroxs has succeeded in finding some hunt. He only has one scout as compared to Marinelord's 3 or 4 scouts at this point. So, and I think he's getting a bit unlucky here in the scouting, not really finding the hunt patches as needed. He found those, so he's at least killing the hunt close to home base, denying that of Marinelord. Resources are at the ready for Niroxs to go to the next stage as well, and being the French again is going to go for the School of Cavalry and make those early or Royal Knights yet again. Pulling in more sheep here, some idle villager time there, but nothing too crazy. Economy stats should be very similar between these two players. 3 military for Marinelord, so that's where we see the military count. Okay, that's good to know. I'm going to keep Marinelord's point of view here again, because I want to see the if he's able to find more hunt to take across the map here. Uh-oh, get those guys to work. So, how many on wood? 3 on wood here from Marinelord. Has the food and gold too. We'll be going to the next stage very soon, once the food allows. Let's see what kind of landmark he goes for here. He goes for the Golden Gate, the economic landmark, which will allow you to trade resources at a very favorable rate. Will allow you to tweak resources every minute. Once every minute you could trade 150 food for 150 gold, which will make it easier for you to produce your horsemen or spearmen or whatever you need to do. Wolves generate gold as well. That should be 25 gold or so for Marinelord once he finishes the wolf. I guess it says on the side here actually. Could actually use the scouts to harass here. This is important scouting intel for Marinelord. He sees that his opponent is on stone, and that means that Niroxs, like in the previous game with the English, wants to go for a second town center once that feudal age kicks in. Only 70 stone though, so that's, I mean, you don't easily kill villagers with scouts, but you could still disallow them from working and force them to fight back. And just like that, Niroxs will struggle for stone for for that DC once that the next age kicks in. Let's see the progression actually. It's very, very close. 2 villagers building the landmark is not really wasting villagers building the landmark here. He is still going to be first to the next stage, but just like slightly followed by Marinelord here with the Golden Gate to trade resources. I think he just did tweak the resources into food or gold or whatnot here. Does he have any multi-production buildings actually? I guess you could use the Golden Gate even to get stone for town centers as the ruse, which is ridiculous, not having to mine that 300 stone for a TC. You could just trade it in the Golden Gate with your existing resources instead. And that's what he's been doing here. You can exchange 100 gold for 150 stone, right? So in a minute, Marinelord will be able to afford a second town center without having mined stone at all. So that's an underrated landmark right there. And then it could town center all the hunt over here and those stray trees for some further resource income. 3 military for Marinelord, that's scouts exclusively, while Niroxs has 3 military out as well, but that should be two knights and a scout, I believe. And you could see Niroxs killing the neutral unit as well. 3 scouts against the Royal Knight? I don't think so. The Royal Knight should shred all 3 of these. Puts the scouts back towards the TC there for some cover fire and survives the aggression as it stands. See, here's that second town center for Marinelord on gold and wood here. It's a fantastic TC spot covering so much crucial resources and all made affordable only through the landmark, the Golden Gate. That's some ridiculous trades. A wooden fortress on the woodland as well, allowing the villagers to garrison if you get raided, and obviously and I think it passively generates wood as well, doesn't it? See the wooden fortress. Lumber camps and town centers within the influence of a wooden fortress return 20% more wood. So that's a boost to the wood income. That's why it's placing that there. It not only defends the woodland, but also allows you to collect the wood more quickly. So efficient resource management there for Marinelord, also dropping a wooden fortress next to TC over here. So it's to boost the wood income rather than just to produce a defensive. It's not just a defensive measure, this wooden fortress, but it also allows you to collect the resources more quickly. Completes the building and garrisons here. Let's see those Royal Knights, the big fired up by 2 buildings here now. But once Niroxs gets the unique technology for the French cavalry, they are going to regenerate on their own, so they should be fine. Barracks is up for Marinelord here. He's going to go for the spearmen, presumably, to hold off against the cavalry raids, and just doubling up on the eco production here. 32 eco units now for Niroxs, but Marinelord with 35, so establishing a villager lead here now. Military stats shouldn't show anything crazy. 1 kill for Marinelord. Maybe he wants to siege push this game, to go infantry and siege, since he's up against the French. Keep trying to say Franks, that doesn't make sense. Some horsemen and royal knights on the move here for Niroxs. They both have some resources running here now. It's the second. There comes the blacksmith. So Niroxs always get the blacksmith earlier than Marinelord. Not necessarily a bad thing. If you get the upgrades earlier, you'll obviously take better fights. And now a town center over here at the berries and the trees as well for the French player. Marinelord isn't messing about here. He's actually dropping a 3rd town center on the hunt over here, and he still hasn't been mining any stone as far as I can tell. He's just been using his precious Golden Gate landmark to trade stone, or trade into stone for the town centers. Red spots this and will try to deny it, and doesn't quite succeed though. Builders garrisoning, only 10 builders to fit inside your additional TCs. The starting TC can fit 20 and has more hit points. Good rates from Red though, getting some kills here. Let's see the military stats again. 10 kills for Niroxs here, so not messing around this game. Really wants to get back into it here and win this game, get Marinelord for a potential game 3. Like how Marinelord is placing hunting cabins in these small patches of wood. The hunting cabin generates gold based on the number of nearby trees. The circle here indicating the range that applies. So this hunting cabin will generate quite a bit of gold when it's placed in the small chunks of trees like this. Same over here, getting maximum value maybe would be even better close to these trees. I'm not too sure, but will generate passive gold for Marinelord, who, let's see the income per minute. Currently it's lower than Niroxs, but it's going to increase once these hunting cabins complete. And you could also drop off food at the hunting cabins. It's already shot the deer here, so you could send villagers to bring in food as well. The knights and horsemen numbers are growing increasingly large for Niroxs here though. Let's have a look at the eco stats, if it's able to keep up with the economy. Actually manages to establish a villager leader, an eco lead over Marinelord. And probably given the aggression here, it's going into range as well. We'll want to mix in some ranged units in the against the spearmen over Marinelord here, something I was missing the previous game. Population seems to be ahead here for Niroxs. Marinelord at 64 population, but 14 military against 17 military here, so quite similar in the military approach here. As you see the trade post, that's something for the late game as well. You could trade with a neutral trade post, even in a 1v1 like this, and generate gold income for your armies that way. Oh, look at this spearman hiding in the woods though! You actually can't see that in the Fog of War. At all, because they're hiding, and might have gotten a little bit surprised there. Niroxs is running into all these hardened spearmen. Looks to me like Marinelord is slowly preparing for the Castlate transition here. He has that passive gold income from the hunting cabins. Let's see if we can see how much it actually brings in here. 27 gold per minute, that's not bad at all, and the other one should be probably the same. 29 gold per minute. Self-healing cavalry here from the Pranks player. Dodging in the fights he doesn't really want to take, right? Just pull away. Better safe than sorry, or not. Their hunting cabin over here. And Marinelord mining gold as well. Look at the food and gold income here. He's going to go Castlate in... Going to be able to build the Castlate landmark in less than a minute here at this rate. How many military total now? 25 military for Niroxs and Marinelord. In the meantime, with 24 military, but mainly spearmen, so Red will have to be careful, obviously, with the cavalry here. The spearmen shouldn't be too far off. Some archers from Marinelord as well to deal with any... Yeah, to assist in the defense here, and if Red mixes in spearmen of his own or some other melee unit, the archers would be able to deal with that. It's chasing down these cavalry now. It's going to keep chasing with the counter unit while also going towards the next stage here. What's that building? This time that is the Abbey on the Trinity for Marinelord, and it's going to produce more warrior monks from this landmark, which will allow Marinelord to either convert enemy units like the cavalry or archers, or to start collecting relics or capture sacred sites for additional gold income. Populations similar between the two players. Looks like Niroxs has more military. It's comparable actually. Here comes the ram push. Cavalry, rams, and archers here for Niroxs. Not joking around, this guy. And actually, Marinelord doesn't have the best responses to a ram push right now, so this TT might go down. This town center could go down rather quickly to the battering rams here. Archers behind to deal with the spearmen. Now Marinelord needs to introduce a counter unit to the ram push here. He's getting veteran spearmen because he's in the castle age, so that's obviously going to help a lot against the cavalry efforts here. Third ram in the production. Oh, he leaves it at that actually, but yeah, succeeds in taking out one town center here. That's good aggression by Niroxs here, but he's also 1 age behind and with no sign of any castle age transition anytime soon, so that could be a vulnerable point for Niroxs here if Marinelord manages to get some counter aggression in. More hunting cabins going up here as well. So much passive gold being created by Marinelord here, who could, again, he could use his landmark, the gold gate here, to tweak resources every minute. Spearmen and archers, crossbows to deal with the knights, and the spearmen have been dealt with by the looks of it, but crossbows should be a response to the good damage versus unarmored targets, like the archers. They don't have any armor, so crossbow counters archers, and to a little extent the knights as well. Definitely taking a beating here though. Oh, he's gonna got that warrior monk out now, and with the relic tries to get some conversions in and doesn't succeed this time around. In fact, Niroxs sniped the warrior monk there, which is good value from Niroxs. Melee damage upgrade is in for the spearman as well. Marinelord is cleaning up the forward here. I didn't expect that, but he's been very patient with massing the units. He's now at 36 military to Niroxs' only 29 and counting. And now it's time for the counter-attack here. The TC got melted down, but otherwise Marinelord didn't take any huge hits here. I love these hunting cabins to either side here just to generate so much. Let's see the income per minute here for gold. It's actually matching Niroxs here, and Niroxs is obviously mining gold while, or actually idling the gold miners currently, while Marinelord has so much passive gold through the hunting cabins. He doesn't need to mine nearly as much. It's Feudal Age versus Castle Age at this point. Market coming up here for Niroxs as well to trade some resources with himself to be able to keep massing units or maybe eventually go to the next stage. But he's taking some losses here now. Let's see the military stats. Marinelord actually with a very negative KD here, but it's mainly wood and food units he's been trading. He hasn't really been making his power units yet, and he's probably going to make more warrior monks here and start contesting the sacred sites maybe, or... Hey, he actually managed to get the conversion, that's funny. He has a royal knight. Or is that an upgrade from the Rus? I guess they get the knights as well. It's just the French get the murder. Veteran archers and crossbows here, even some spearmen mixed in here, and there's the warrior monk to heal up the weakened units here. Let's go back to the resource stats and look at the setup here. Marinelord seems with a more healthy setup after all. Is he only with 1 TC now though? He is dropping another one down south here on the gold on the woodline, so he's going to extend his economy again, and he has a town center over to the right here. Close to sacred site as well, so this TC is actually indirectly protecting this sacred site as well if Marinelord ever goes for it in this game. We have here archers and royal knights for Niroxs here. Is he building the landmark now maybe? Seems no, he's stuck in the feudal age. He has to make army obviously to hold up here. 41 military for Niroxs, for Marinelord, and 50 for Niroxs. And it needs to get back to the pushing, but it did lose 3 rams forward, which is a heavy toll on the wood economy as well. How many TCs, I wonder? 1 here, 1, and that's a starting one, and looks like it's 2 town centers for Niroxs here, 63 eco units total, while Marinelord now has 75 and also 48 military to boost. One sacred site captured for Marinelord here. He's just getting close to the food and gold needed to go to the next age as well. So if you believe if you capture a sacred site, periodically generates gold for the player that controls it. I think it's like 100 or 200 gold per minute or something. It's like kind of equivalent to the relics of Age of Empires 2. So big fight here, the archers taking some benefit from the stealth forest here potentially. But looks like Marinelord is going to trade better here and gets a great fight here, even some juicy mangonel shots popping in there. So the red player taps out, calls the GG, Marinelord takes the 2-0 in this best of 3. Looks like we don't get to see the match statistics here, so that's the end of that best of 3. GG, Marinelord, good luck next.